be along here with you for the last regular season tune-up before the region tournament begins next week. We'll get to that a little bit later. But game time temperature, 90 degrees, feels like 96, but you know what? These days anymore, who's counting, right? Stay hydrated, stay safe, everybody. You're in tune to Classic Hits 95.1 KMSD FM, 1510 AM, KMSD Milbank, South Dakota, and our YouTube channel as well, which is becoming very, very popular. So thanks to all the people that listen and or watch. Trust me, we appreciate each and every one of you. The sponsors for these games include the Millstone Family Restaurant, Avera Milbank Medical Center, Milbank Area Hospital Avera, Milbank Tobacco Coalition, 203 Realty, Bean Pharmacy, Haslam Construction, Merton's Auto Sales, Border Lake Insurance, Ortonville Area Health Services, and Dakota Country Ag Service, Chiropractic in Motion, as well as Lewis Family Drug Pro Image Partners, ITC, and Schmitz Landing. I was talking about the region tournament. That will be right here at this very ballpark, and we've got the matchups right here. That starts next Tuesday, which of course is July 21st. Your first game of that day, which is at noon, will be Big Stone City Post 229 against Groton Post 39. Game 2 that day, Milbank Post 9 against Claremont Post 262. That's about 2:30, I suppose, and then about 5 o'clock, Sisseton Post 50 will take on the winner of the Big Stone City Groton winner, and then the two losers of the two games will play at about 7:30, I suppose, or so on Tuesday night. Tournament goes Wednesday and ends next Thursday. All right, let's give you your starting lineups. First of all, for the visitors on the scoreboard tonight, Castlewood Post 250. They will bat leading off and pitching Caden Nedved, batting number 2 at shortstop. Brody Bass, batting number 3 and catching. Jax Theraldson, batting in cleanup. Third base, Davis Gales, batting number 5 in left field. Trevor Everson, batting number 6 at second base. Logan McMillan, batting number 7 at first base. Kipton Eadson, batting number 8 in center field. Dante Schwartzman, and batting number 9 in right field, Lane Hagenson. Castlewood Post 250 is coached by Booker Schooler. Now for Milbank Post 9, Jackson Weesey leads off and plays center field. Batting number 2 in left field is Caleb Lindstrom. Aiden Kelly will bat number 3 and play right field. On the bump tonight, number 11, Matt Copeland. He bats number 4. Bennett Hunt, the third baseman, will bat number 5. Batting number 6, Tyler Heinge, the catcher. Batting number 7 at second base, Mason Allen. Batting number 8 at first base, Kai Schooler. And batting number 9 at shortstop, Brady Allen. Milbank Post 9 is coached by Ron Kraus, Brady Femling, and Caden Kraus. You're locked into the pregame show here on KMSD Radio and our YouTube channel, and we are going to step aside for some of our video sponsors here tonight. We'll be back with more from Milbank after this from our video sponsors here on the at the ballpark.
Offer the best mechanic service along with a full lineup of Ford vehicles. They pride themselves on the honest and friendly way of doing business. Check out MilbankFord.com to see what they have to offer, or stop by Milbank Ford, West Highway 12, Milbank.
Whimsy on Main makes it easy to find unique gifts for all occasions. Whimsy specializes in packages specific to your gift-giving needs. Shop in store for books, home toys, games, and more, Monday through Saturday, or online at whimsyonmain.com. Let Whimsy on Main be your one-stop gift shop on Main Street, Milbank.
This broadcast brought to you locally by Dennis Mears, financial advisor with Legacy Financial Partners, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. Your future's counting on the right financial advice.
And welcome back into the pregame show here. Again, welcome aboard baseball fans on a hot, steamy Thursday night. Again, Region Baseball gets going here next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And we'll have all the tournament coverage for you on our YouTube channel. And then Big Stone City and Milbank will be on KMSD here. And then our Sisseton and Claremont, I think, will be on B103, and that's still, it will have tournament coverage for you next week here on KMSD and our sister station B103. Milbank is getting introduced now as we speak, so we're just going to keep it right here for the code and the national anthem, and then we'll be ready for some baseball here on a hot July 16th night here. Not quite as hot as a Tuesday night, though, but Tuesday night game time temperature was 96 with a feels like of about 103, if I remember right. Now it's cooled down. It's 90 degrees. It feels like 96. So anyway, again, welcome into American Legion Baseball. Again, Milbank Post 9 against Castlewood Post number 250.
I'd like to direct your attention to the mound where Stu Schurz will be reading the code.
So now they're going to do the code here. Stu Schurz is going to read the code.
My teammates, keep my temper, keep myself fit, keep a stout heart in defeat, keep my pride under in victory, keep a sound soul, a clean mind, and a healthy body.
At this time, I would ask that everybody rise, remove your headgear, and direct your attention down the right field line to our flag as we honor America in the singing of our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Ladies and gentlemen, let's play ball!
Not only is he one of the best, if not the best public address announcers, the man could also sing. Adam Copeland, what a nice job. Again, on our national anthem. So we're getting ready for baseball here on your Thursday night. And again, the last regular season tune-up here before tournament play, which begins here in Milbank, Region 1B, next Tuesday. All righty, let's set Castlewood's batting lineup again. They will bat first, of course. They will bat this way. Caden Nedved leads off. Brody Bass will bat number 2. Jax Theraldson in the number 3 spot. Davis Gales bats number 4, batting in the 5th position for Castlewood. Trevor Everson batting number 6. Logan McMillan. Batting number 7, Kipton Eidson. Batting number 8, Dante Schwartzman. And batting number 9, Lane Hagenson. Again, Castlewood Post 250, coached by Booker Schooley. Now for your Post 9 team here from Milbank, leading off, playing center field, Jackson Weesey. Caleb Lindstrom will bat number 2. Aiden Kelly bats number 3. Mac Copeland is in the cleanup spot. Batting number 5 at third base, Bennett Hunt. Batting number 6 and catching, Tyler Heinge. Batting number 7 at second second base, Mason Allen. Batting number 8 at first base, Kai Schooler. And batting number 9 at shortstop is Brady Allen. Again, Milbank coached by Ron Kraus, Brady Femling, and Caden Kraus. So let's set post 9 then for you defensively. In left field, Caleb Lindstrom. Center field, Jackson Weesey. At right field is Aiden Kelly. Around the infield, Bennett Hunt at third base. The Allen brothers at the middle positions in the infield. Brady at short, Mason at second. Kai Schooler is patrolling first base tonight. Behind the plate is Tyler Heinge, and on the bump, number 11, left-handed pitcher Mac Copeland for Milbank. Your umpires tonight, behind home plate, Josh Mueller, and out in the bases would be Sammy Femling. So those are your umpires here tonight. Again, welcome in baseball fans. Game time temperature 90 degrees out here tonight. Feels like 96 at the ballpark. And again, your dimensions here at the New Legion Field, 307 down the left field line, 304 down the right field line, 372 to left center field, 372 to dead center field, and 390 in the right center field power alley here. A beautiful field, of course, just opened up a couple years ago. So a gorgeous field, nice conditions out here, albeit hot, but of course, that is the way it is here in mid-July. So stepping in the batter's box now for post 250 is the pitcher tonight, number 15, Caden Nedved. So Mac Copeland's opening pitch of the game is a swinging strike. No balls and 1 strike to the leadoff hitter. And here's the Copeland pitch. That's another swing and a miss. So Mac quickly up now. No balls and 2 strikes to Caden Nedved. Brody Bass waits in the on-deck area here for Castlewood. The Milbank left-hander is going to go into his full windup here shortly. Here's the pitch. That's going to be on the ground. Couple hops to second base. Takes a tough hop on Mason Allen, and he cannot recover. So E4 as Caden Nedved reaches base. And Mason charged it nice and just kind of hit the heel of his glove, I believe, and kind of played a little trick on him that time. And that allowed Nedved to reach first. Now that'll bring up Brody Bass, the shortstop for Castlewood, post 250. Again, just underway here, top of the first. Here's the Copeland offering. That is low across the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. Castlewood in white tops tonight, white baseball pants, red numerals, white trim, and white baseball batting helmets. Milbank, of course, in their familiar red sleeves with blue vests, red lettering that says Milbank in front with white piping, and gray baseball pants. Copeland fires a strike, swing and a miss. 2 balls and 1 strike to Bass. Nedved is on first here for Castlewood with nobody out, just underway. Game 1 tonight, and that's all there's going to be here. 1 7-inning contest, and that just about hits Bass that time, but he gets out of the way. And not advancing to second is Caden Nedved. So a 3-1 count now to Brody Bass. Jax Theraldson waits on deck here for post 250. And the 3-1 offering now to Bass. Here it is. There goes the runner. That's low anyway. And Heinge couldn't locate the baseball right away, but walking with a base on balls is Brody Bass. So Nedved at second, now Bass at first. Jax Theraldson, number 23, the catcher, coming up here for Castlewood. So Castlewood mounting an early threat here in the game. Just 3 batters in now to this contest. And again, 1 7-inning game here tonight on this Thursday night. As Copeland comes to the set now, the left-hander deals. That's high and in across the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. As Davis Gales waits on deck for Castlewood. So Mac Copeland comes to the set now, and the 1-0 from Mac. That's right across the plate, but low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Nice block behind the dish that time by Tyler Heinge, preventing Nedved from possibly taking third, Bass from possibly taking second, but they're back to their respective bases now. And a 2-0 count coming now from Copeland, and here it is. That's going to be a tough play for Allen, except Mason Allen, comes up with it that time and throws Theraldson out at first. It looked like that could be kind of a tough play because Bass kind of went right in front of Allen that time as he was running to second base. But to Mason's credit, he stuck right with it. But now Nedved is at third, Bass is at second, first base unoccupied, and that brings up Davis Gales, now the third baseman for Castlewood. That is a strike. So a 1-strike count here now. Let's see if Mac can wiggle out of this jam here in the early going. No ball and 1 strike. Now here comes the lefty's pitch. That is right there, but just a little bit inside that time. 1 ball and 1 strike. To Davis Gales, Trevor Everson waits on deck here for Castlewood. And the 1-1 now from Copeland. That is a strike. Nice fastball that time by Mac. Pretty much a center cut fastball that time from home plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Gales. Runners on second and third, 1 out. Here's the pitch from Copeland. That's going to be inside. Just about hit Gales that time, but he got out of the way. So runners on second and third now, a 2-2 count here to Gales from Copeland. Here it is. And there's a dribbler down the third base line, just a little ways in foul territory. So staying alive in the at-bat is Davis Gales for post 250 from Castlewood. 2-2 is your count. No score, just underway here. Game 1 of 1 tonight. And that was a pretty good pitch, but just missed a little bit outside that time to fill up the count now to Davis Gales as Nedved is at third, Brody Bass is at second. And here's the payoff pitch. That's going to be outside. So the bases are now loaded as Gales draws the walk. Early mound visit by catcher Tyler Heinge.
Trevor Everson.
And that now will bring up number 6, the left fielder Trevor Everson for Castlewood. So now bases are full of post 250 runners. There is 1 out here in the top of the first. Let's see if Milbank can possibly turn the double dip here or something, double header or double play perhaps, maybe. We'll just wait and see. Infield playing in now, hoping to cut the run off at home. The Allen brothers, though, are playing back at their normal positions. Brady at short, Mason at second. First baseman Kai Schooler in on the infield grass. Bennett Hunt at third, also on the infield grass, and an 0-1 count. There's a swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes, so Mac jumps way ahead now of Everson. Again, bases are loaded here for Castlewood with nobody out. And the 0-2 now from Mac. Here it is. That's a called third strike. A beautiful pitch that time by Mac Copeland. And that's going to bring up Logan McMillan now, second baseman, number 24.
24, Logan McMillan.
So we'll see if Mac can wiggle out of this monster jam here. Bases loaded, 1 out. Now there's bases loaded, 2 outs. And that's going to be hit off to the left foul. So no balls and 1 strike. To McMillan. Again, glad to have each and every one of you along here tonight, wherever you are listening and or watching us tonight. Here's the 0-1. That is right there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bases full of Castlewood runners, 2 outs, top of the first, no score, just underway here on a sun-splashed field here in Milbank. Here's the 0-2. That's a line drive, and Copeland catches it. Oh my, Mac works out of a monster jam as McMillan lines out to the pitcher, Mac Copeland. Castlewood post 250 leaves the bases loaded. A half an inning. Castlewood 0, Milbank coming to bat. We'll be back with the bottom of the first coming up in a minute after we have this from our other video sponsors here as well on KMSD.
Internet can make in your home or business. ITC pairs unbeatable speed with local support to provide an exceptional customer experience. Get started today with ITC, your community-connected cooperative.
Smoke breaks take time. Time away from defining moments in life. His moment of glory was your moment. Wasted. Fewer moments wasted. More good years.
Pro Image Partners. So many reasons why you can turn to us. We'll help you show your pride. ProImagePartners.com.
Ortonville Area Health Services. Our mission? At Ortonville Area Health Services, we provide personalized, high-quality, and compassionate care through caring professionals in a healing environment. Your healthcare home, Ortonville Area Health Services.
And let's set Castlewood post 250 defensively for you here in the bottom of the first. Trevor Everson is in left. Dante Schwartzman is in center. Lane Higginson is over in right. Around the infield, third base, Davis Gales at short. Brody Bass at second base. Logan McMillan. And at first base, Kipton Eidson. Behind the plate, Jax Theraldson. And on the mound, number 15, right-handed pitcher, Caden Nedved. So Castlewood, if you're just tuning in, they mounted a threat, a bona fide threat, came up empty. They left the bases loaded as they had the bases loaded with one out in the top of the first inning. But Milbank pitcher Matt Copeland struck out Trevor Everson, and then he got Logan McMillan to line out to himself. And Milbank gets out of a jam in the top of the first inning. So let's see what Milbank can do here to Jackson Weesey. Caleb Lindstrom, Aiden Kelly for post 9 here in the bottom of the first inning.
Milbank will be number 12, Jackson Weesey.
So Caden Nedved, here comes the right-hander's pitch. That's going to be low and outside to Weesey. 1 ball and no strikes. Jackson Weesey now with a 1-0 count. Here comes the Nedved pitch. That is right there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike now to the Milbank center fielder here this evening, Jackson Weesey. Here's the Nedved pitch. Weesey takes a mighty swing and fouls that one back to the retaining wall here behind home plate. So Nedved ahead now, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Caleb Lindstrom waits on deck here for post 9. Here's the 1-2. There's a swing and a miss by Weesey on kind of an off-speed pitch that time. Nice pitch by Nedved as Weesey was way out in front. 1 up and 1 down here for Milbank. That'll bring up number 26, the left fielder, Caleb Lindstrom. And here's the Nedved offering. That's going to be hit the other way for a single into right field for Lindstrom. Caleb goes the other way that time and dumps it into right field. He's on first base. Aiden Kelly, now number 22, the right fielder, comes into the batter's box for post number 9 with Caleb Lindstrom on first.
Next up is number 2.
And 1 out.
Aiden Kelly.
And thought Lindstrom was going to take off, but he slams on the brakes. Caleb's still at first now, and the pitch homeward is a ball to Aiden Kelly. 1 ball and no strikes. Again, 1 7-inning game here tonight. Here's the pitch. There goes Lindstrom. He got a good jump. Throw down to second. Head first slide is safe in second base is Caleb Lindstrom. As that throw went a little bit to the shortstop side that time at second base. Lindstrom kind of slid around the baseball that time, if you will. So Lindstrom is at second now, a 2-0 count to Aiden Kelly. Nedved checks the runner. Kelly takes a strike at the knees, the center cut fastball that time. 2 balls and 1 strike. Aiden Kelly, Mac Copeland waits on deck here for post 9. A 2-1 count now. Here it is. There's a hit into the air into short right field. That could be trouble, and that's going to drop. As Lindstrom takes the wide turnaround third, Aiden Kelly gets a Texas League single to right field. And so now Milbank has a threat of their own. And that'll bring up now the pitcher Mac Copeland, left-handed batter who could help his own cause right here as the game's first run is standing 90 feet away now at third base with less than 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Mac. He takes that for a strike at the knees. Caleb Lindstrom over at third, Aiden Kelly at first. Runners on the corners for post 9. No score here in the bottom of the first inning. As Nedved checks both runners, he throws it home to Copeland. That just misses a little bit outside. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Mac. Here's the pitch to Mac. That's a mile-high pop-up on the infield. Third baseman draws a bead, and it gets over his head, though. Davis Gales. Lindstrom is going to try to score, and he's going to come in to score. And then out at second is Aiden Kelly. Copeland goes to first base. Caleb Lindstrom comes in to score. And it is 1-0 Milbank now here. As Kelly is out at third. And that'll bring up number 15 now, the third baseman, Bennett Hunt. For Milbank with Mac Copeland over at first. Here's the pitch. That's over the head that time of Bennett Hunt. So Milbank cracks the proverbial goose egg first here as they've jumped on top 1-0. So Milbank, unlike Castlewood in the top of the first, took advantage of a couple of runners, and except Castlewood had the bases loaded. There goes the runner to second. Copeland is going to be in on the slide. That throw was a nice throw that time from Theraldson, but some nifty sliding that time by Mac Copeland got him in safely, as that ball actually just about beat Mac to second base, quite honestly, but he's safe. A 1 ball, 1 strike count now to Hunt. Here it is. There's a pitch that's fouled back to the netting. 1 ball and 2 strikes now as Nedved jumps ahead here of Bennett Hunt. Again, Mac Copeland on second. 1-0 Milbank. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. 1 7-inning game here this evening. As Nedved comes to the set, here's the pitch. That's roped down the third base line by Hunt, but foul. So you can hear the Milbank faithful, even though I can't hear them. You can just hear them. Straighten that out. Straighten that out. As that would have been down the left field line for probably a double for Hunt. Anyway, 1 ball and 2 strikes now. He goes the opposite way for a single, and they're going to wave Copeland in. There's going to be no throw to the plate. Mac dives head first. RBI single the opposite way to right field for Bennett Hunt. Mac Copeland scores, so now we change the scoreboard to 2-0 Milbank. And that'll bring up now the catcher, number 8, Tyler Heinge.
That'll bring to the plate, number 8, Tyler Heinge.
So Milbank liking to go to the opposite field here so far tonight. Caleb Lindstrom, Aiden Kelly, Bennett Hunt, all right-handed batters have all hit safeties to right field. And there goes the runner to second. Nice jump, and boy, that's going to be a bang-bang play too. But again, in safely this time is Bennett Hunt. That throw, too, was kind of right on the bag that time. But, again, Hunt gets in safely. So Bennett at second base now. Here's the pitch. That's a curveball that stays inside. Too long to Tyler Heinge. 2 balls and no strikes. Now Tyler ahead here in the at-bat. Again, if you're just tuning in, Milbank has scored 2 here in the bottom of the first. Here's the pitch to Heinge. Oh, my, he wanted to make it 4-0 with that mighty swing. But he got nothing but hot July 16th Milbank north side air on that one. 2 balls and a strike, and there's the same pitch, same result. Swing and a miss by Tyler Heinge. So 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Milbank's catcher here with Hunt on second. Here's the 2-2. That's inside to fill up the count now to Tyler Heinge. Again, Bennett Hunt should get an early goal here from second base with 2 outs. There he goes, and here's Heinge hitting that into right center field. Drawing a bead out there is Schwartzman in center field. Dante puts it away. So Tyler Heinge flies out to center field, but Milbank does score 2 runs. Half an inning complete, or a full inning complete. Milbank 2, Castlewood nothing. Back with more Legion baseball right after this for some of our sponsors here on KMSD.
Locally owned independent insurance agency. As an independent insurance agency, Carrie Holquist and staff at Border Lake Insurance have access to multiple companies that offer home, farm, auto, commercial, life, and health products. Border Lake Insurance has 2 convenient locations. Stop by or call their Main Street office in Milbank at 605-432-5884. Or in Ortonville, call 320-839-6145. Located in Grand Marais State Bank, formerly the Sen Bank Building. Border Lake Insurance. Insurance agents you can count on.
When your vehicle needs professional attention, trust the hometown team that's been keeping Milbank rolling for years. Merton's Auto Sales, formerly Milbank Ford. The same professional service, just a new name. If you're looking for your next ride, check out the lot and you'll find quality cars, trucks, and SUVs, all inspected and ready to roll. Honest work, fair prices, reliable service you can count on. Stop by Merton's Auto Sales today and drive away confident. West Highway 12 in Milbank or mertonsautosales.com.
And welcome back here to Milbank as we are entering the top of the second inning. And Castlewood will send up number 7, 8, and 9 to bat here against Milbank left-hander Mac Copeland. Milbank draws first blood here in the top of the first inning, 2-0 in this final regular season game before Region 1B action takes center stage here in the birthplace of American Legion Baseball, Milbank, South Dakota, next Tuesday through Thursday. So Eidson now in the batter's box, top of the second. That's a strike at the knees delivered by Copeland. So no ball and 1 strike to count now to Kipton Eidson. And the Copeland fastball stays a little bit high. That time 1 ball and 1 strike. Dante Schwartzman waits on deck here for post 250. There's the Copeland fastball that stays outside that time. A 2 ball, 1 strike count now to Eidson. And here it is. That's right across the plate but high. So 3 balls and 1 strike now to the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the second inning, or top of the second inning for Castlewood post 250, Eidson. So the 3-1 offering now from Copeland. Here it is. That's low. So Eidson goes to first on the walk. That is Mac's 3rd walk that he has given up here tonight. Again, if you're just tuning in, Castlewood left the bases loaded in the top of the first inning. Came up empty as they had bases loaded with 1 out, and then Copeland retired 2 in a row to leave the bases loaded. And here's the pitch now. That's going to get past catcher Heinge. So going into second base is Eidson in the batter's box now, number 16. The center fielder Dante Schwartzman for Coach Booker Schooley in Castlewood. Schwartzman now with a 1-ball count. Here's the pitch. That is low and in. So I believe the count now is 2-0. Yes, it is. Eidson on second. Here's the pitch. That is going to get away from Heinge, and Eidson alertly goes into third. That didn't get that far away that time, but now they're going to send him back to second. I don't know if they said that was a foul or something. I don't know. I guess I was looking down. I made the cardinal sin of looking down. Okay, so Schwartzman must have gotten hit or something, so he's on first base. Anyway, Lane Higginson is in the batter's box now for Castlewood with runners on first and second, so they're mounting a threat here in the top of the second inning. Nobody out. Runners on first and second here for post 250. And here's the pitch to Higginson. That's across the plate, but a little bit low. So 1 ball and no strikes. As Castlewood loaded the bases in the top of the first. And they're trying to do that again. Here's the 1-0 now. There's a strike at the knees on the fastball. Higginson takes it. And the 1-1, that misses low. 2 balls and a strike now. We turn the top of the lineup, and Caden Nedved up next here for post 250. And the 2-1 count now to Higginson. Here's the pitch. There's a swing and a miss. So the count evens now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out here in the top of the second inning. Runners on first and second. Here's the pitch. That's going to be laced into left field for a single. And they're going to hold the runner at third. Nice strong throw in from left field. Caleb Lindstrom. Oh my, what a nice throw out there from Caleb. So now Eidson is at third. Schwartzman is at second. Higginson is at second with his single.
Off the bat for Castlewood is the top of the order, number 15, Caden Nedved.
So now for the second inning in a row, Castlewood has loaded the bases. This time now there's no outs. Corner infielders on the infield grass. Again, the middle 2 infielders, the Allen brothers, back at normal depth. Schooler in at first. Bennett Hunt on the infield at third. Here's a pitch that's fouled over my head. Back behind here. So Mac jumps ahead now. No balls and 2 strikes.
Bring those foul balls back to the concession stands for a bit of cash.
So no balls and 2 strikes. Now the count to Nedved. Here's the Copeland pitch. That's a fastball that stays a little bit outside that time. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bases full of post 250 runners, and here's the 1-2. There's a pop-up, and we'll see if there's room in foul territory, and Heinge cannot come up with it in foul territory. I think Heinge thought he was a little bit closer to the dugout or to the wall than he probably was. But anyway, 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Caden Nedved. And the Copeland pitch. Here it is. That's high. That gets away from Heinge. There's going to come the runner in from third base. And here comes another runner. Nobody's at home, so some alert base running by Castlewood as 2 runs come in to score. Eidson comes in to score. Schwartzman comes in to score. Hagenson goes all the way to third. And that 2 runs, ladies and gentlemen, started as a pass ball, basically. So now we've got a brand new ball game. 2 runs apiece. Hagenson at third, and a count here to Nedved. He's going to hit that into left field. That's pretty deep. Lindstrom has a beat on it, though, and Caleb puts it away. Nice strong throw into short, but no relay home. So now Castlewood grabs a 3-2 lead as Hagenson comes in to score. Nedved, sacrifice fly out to left field.
Up to bat is number 2, Brody Bass.
And that'll bring up Brody Bass now, who walked back in the first inning. So Castlewood now leads 3-2. Here's the pitch, a swing and a miss on a Copeland fastball that time. Bass walked last half inning, so no official plate appearances so far tonight in a very small sample size by Brody Bass. And the 0-1, here it is. That's inside, 1-1. So Milbank scored 2 in the bottom of the first. Castlewood so far has answered with 3 here in the top of the second. And the Copeland 1-1. Here it is. That's kind of a fist shot. That's going to be a tough play. Mason Allen at second base. Nice play, though, by Mason. He stuck with that baseball that time and threw out Bass. That took kind of a wicked hop, too, but Mason stayed right with it as his momentum was taking him actually toward shortstop that time. And nice defensive play that time by Mason Allen to make that out look actually rather routine that time. Here comes the number 23. Now he hits that pretty hard into left center field, but Caleb Lindstrom puts that one away as well. Jax Theraldson flies out to left field, but Castlewood, damage done. Post 250, scores 3 here in the top of the second to grab a 3-2 lead over Milbank. Back with more Legion Baseball from Milbank coming up right after this on KMSD.
See Dr. Matt at Chiropractic in Motion. With a minor adjustment, headaches, numbness, and pain can be relieved. Dr. Matt is the type of chiropractor that helps his patients by correcting the problem with as few visits as possible. Chiropractic in Motion looks forward to seeing their customers outside of the office, enjoying their lifestyle with a smile. The next time you have aches and pains, count on the helping hands of Dr. Matt. He's there when you need him. Chiropractic in Motion Sports Injury and Family Wellness Center, Highway 12, Milbank.
Lewis Family Drug is your one-stop location. In addition to quality prescription and non-prescription drugs with free delivery, Lewis has a huge selection of everyday basics and name brands and specialty items, always at affordable prices. They carry seasonal items, fabrics, crafts, and groceries. Shopping at your local Lewis Drug is more simple and more rewarding than ever. Download the Lewis mobile app to add on-the-go convenience to your errands. Lewis Family Drug. Everyday savings close to home.
Milbank is going to come up here in the bottom of the second inning, trailing 3-2. And it'll be hitters number 7, 8, and 9 coming in for Milbank: Mason Allen, Kai Schooler, and then Brady Allen for post 9. Again, don't forget Region 1B baseball here from Milbank starting next Tuesday. And your first round matchups on Tuesday at noon. Big Stone City will play Groton. And then about half an hour after that game, Milbank post 9 will take on Claremont, post number 262. Third game of next Tuesday will be Sisseton, post 50, taking on the winner of Big Stone City and Groton. And then the fourth game on Tuesday will be the 2 losers of the games before. So there you have it. And that'll bring up Mason Allen now for Milbank. And the Caden Nedved pitch. Here it is. There's a swing and a miss by Mason. So Castlewood is leading here 3-2. Here in the bottom of the second inning, the 0-1 to Allen. Here it is. There's a high pop fly into short left field. Who's got it? That goes over the left fielder's head. And Mason Allen, with his speed, he's going to run into second. And that, I think, is going to be a gift double that time for Mason Allen. I'll bring up Kai Schooler now.
Up to bat, number 4, Kai Schooler.
So Kai Schooler now with a golden opportunity to drive in the tying run here. And he's going to do probably just that. It's going to be dumped into short center field. They're going to hold Mason Allen at third, though, as Mason takes the wide turn at third. So an opposite field single to right field by Kai Schooler that gets Mason Allen over to third. So now Milbank is threatening here as Brady Allen comes to the dish here for post number 9.
Brady Allen.
So Brady in the batter's box now with an ideal opportunity here to at least tie the game as Brady takes one outside. 1 ball and no strikes to the Milbank shortstop. And the 1-0 now to Brady Allen with runners on first and third. Brady wanted to take a swing, and it was on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike to Brady Allen. Mason Allen is at third. Kai Schooler over at first for Milbank. It's 3-2 now, Castlewood, but Milbank threatening here. Runners on the corners, nobody out. Here's the pitch. That is a strike to Brady. That kind of was a little bit of a curveball action that time from Nedved. Pretty nice pitch, though. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Is the count now to Brady Allen. Caleb Lindstrom waits on deck for post 9. And the 1-2, here it is. Brady reaches for it, fouls it back to the netting behind home plate. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. The count rides along to Brady Allen. Or Jackson Weesey. I might have said Lindstrom was on deck. Sorry about that. Jackson Weesey's on deck as we turn the top of the lineup. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Brady Allen. Here's the pitch. Brady fouls that one back to stay alive in the at-bat. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Brady. And here's the pitch from Nedved. That's high, and taking off for second and getting in without a throw is Kai Schooler. Of course, again, the wisdom there is that they might throw through. Ball gets into center field. Boom, from third base comes Mason Allen. But Castlewood didn't participate that time. They didn't throw the ball down to second base. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Brady swings and misses on an outside pitch. So that is strikeout number 2 here for Nedved tonight. And that'll bring up Jackson Weesey in the top of the lineup. Jackson struck out back in the first.
Number 12, Jackson Weesey.
Again, Jackson with an ideal opportunity here to do some damage for Milbank. Runners on second and third. Now there's 1 out. Castlewood still holds a 3-2 lead. And there's a single that's going to untie. That's going to at least tie the game. And they're going to hold the runner at third. Nice, strong throw from center fielder Dante Schwartzman. But coming in to score is Mason Allen. So it is tied up at 3. Kai Schooler held at third. And Jackson Weesey with an RBI single. And so now we're tied at 3. And that'll bring up Caleb Lindstrom, who singled and scored a run last half inning. Now runners on first and third. Lindstrom squares to bunt, pulls it back. Throw goes through to second this time. Sliding in safely is Weesey. And a no ball, 1 strike count to Caleb Lindstrom. So now Weesey is at second, Schooler is at third, and it's tied at 3. And the 0-1 pitch to Lindstrom, that's going to be high in the air, back behind the plate. And that's going to hit, you probably heard the clonk on the bleachers off to the right here. So no balls and 2 strikes now to Caleb Lindstrom. Aiden Kelly waits on deck here for post 9. Again, we're tied at 3 in the bottom of the second. Milbank threatening for more here. And here's the 0-2 to Lindstrom. He reaches for that one and fouls that back to the netting behind home plate. So count rides along. No balls and 2 strikes to number 26, left fielder Caleb Lindstrom. And the 0-2 to Lindstrom, and that's going to hit him. So now first base is also occupied as he is hit by a pitch. And so that loads the bases now for Aiden Kelly. Aiden has a single here, so he's 1 for 1 tonight. Again, he could do some major damage here if he could get into one. We're tied at 3 for now, but here's the pitch. That's a curveball, but it stays high. No place to put Aiden Kelly here. 1 ball and no strikes. Bases full of post 9 runners. We're tied at 3 in the bottom of the second. Here's the pitch. That's the second straight bad one in the at-bat. 2 balls and no strikes to Kelly. And here's the 2-0. That's going to be a strike at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike. As Kelly appeared to be taking all the way that time. So the 2-1 now with the bases full and Aiden Kelly. Here's the pitch. That's fouled back to the netting. So it evens the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, bases full of post 9 runners. Schooler at third, Weesey at second, Lindstrom over at first. And a 2-2 count now to Aiden Kelly. Here's the Nedved pitch. That's hit into left field. That should be deep enough. Well, maybe, and it's going to be, here's a throw to the plate, a strong throw to the plate, and out at the plate is Kai Schooler. Oh, my heavens, what a throw from Trevor Everson out in left field. I mean, it wasn't that deep left field, but that throw was on the money at home plate from left field, so out at home is Kai Schooler. And Milbank settles for the tie here in the bottom of the second inning as Aiden Kelly flies out to left field. All right, 2 complete. Milbank 3 and Castlewood 3. Back with more Legion baseball right after this on KMSD.
Trust the hometown team that's been keeping Milbank rolling for years. Merton's Auto Sales, formerly Milbank Ford. The same professional service, just a new name. From oil changes, brakes, trannies, engines, anything you need, any brand that needs repairs, we can do it. Honest work, fair prices, reliable service, you can count on. Stop by Merton's Auto Sales today and drive away confident. West Highway 12 in Milbank or mertonsautosales.com.
Dreaming of a getaway? Escape to Schmidt's Landing on beautiful Big Stone Lake. Whether you're casting for walleyes, perch your back, or just enjoying the stunning view, Schmidt's Landing has something for everyone. Relax in comfortable lakeside suites, or set up your camper or tent for a long weekend. How about spending this summer at your seasonal RV spot? There are also boat and pontoon rentals, plus a fully stocked C-store with bait and license. Discover a family adventure or a peaceful retreat at Schmidt's Landing. Visit schmidtslanding.com and like them on Facebook.
And Milbank ends up leaving the bases loaded in the bottom of the, well, actually thrown out at home was Kai Schooler. So anyway, Milbank scored 1 there in the bottom of the second. We're tied at 3 now as Davis Gales comes into the batter's box for Castlewood. Gales walked, so he has no official plate appearances here so far. Matt Copeland kind of swung him around on that swing, literally. No ball and 1 strike the count. Now Gales kind of with a smile on his face kind of does a half spin there as he swung and missed at that one. And here's the pitch from Copeland. That is low and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now to number 8, the third baseman. And the 1-1 count now from Copeland. Here it is. That's a strike at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Gales. Trevor Everson on deck here for post 250. And the Copeland 1-2. Here it is. That sails across the plate high on the fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2 now from Copeland. That is inside to fill up the count now. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Davis Gales. And here comes the payoff from Mack. That is a ball. So Gales draws a walk. Fourth walk tonight given up by Matt Copeland. And a quick little meeting at the mound again as catcher Heinge runs out to talk to his left-handed pitcher, and that will bring now to the plate Trevor Everson, left fielder. He struck out back in the first, 0 for 1.
Trevor Everson.
So 1 on, nobody out for Castlewood now. We're in a 3-3 tie here. Here's the pitch from Copeland. That is a ball. A little bit low, 1 ball and no strikes to Everson. Logan McMillan waits on deck here for Castlewood. Here's the 1-0. There goes the runner. Got a good jump, and Heinge kind of just threw the ball to himself that time. It slipped out of his hand. So standing up at second with a stolen base is Davis Gales. So Gales is at second now with nobody out. He represents the go-ahead run here in the top of the third. Here's the pitch from Copeland. Oh, that was in his eyes that time, and Everson swung and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That pitch literally was about eye level that time. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Copeland. Here comes the left-hander's pitch. That's going to be hit into short center field for a single, and they're going to wave the runner home. Here comes the relay, or there is no relay throw home, as Davis Gales comes in to touch home plate. As RBI single belongs to Everson. And it is now 4-3 Castlewood. So we go back and forth. Milbank tied it at 3. Now Castlewood goes back in front. 4-3 with the run that they just scored there. Gales comes in. Here's the pitch now. There's going to be a high pop-up on the infield. Mason Allen says, I have it at second base, and Mason puts it away as McMillan flies out to second baseman Mason Allen. And, of course, staying at first on the play is Trevor Everson. That'll now bring up Kipton Eidson. He walked and scored a run last half inning. Here's the pitch to Eidson. It's low and inside. So 1 ball and no strikes. With Everson at first. Castlewood up here by 1. They've grabbed the lead back again, 4-3. And here's the Copeland pitch. That's a swing and a miss by Eidson. And the Copeland pitch, here it is. That's high on the fastball. It stays outside as well. 1 ball and 2 balls and a strike. So the Copeland 2-1, there goes the runner. It's a ball. The throw down to second is too high, not in time. Getting in with a stolen base is Trevor Everson. And Eidson now with a 1 ball, no strike count. And here's the pitch from Copeland. Fastball stays high, so that is going to be a walk, actually, to Eidson. 2 walks given up this half inning so far from Mack.
That'll bring up number 16, Dante Schwartzman.
5 walks given up tonight so far by Milbank starting pitcher Mac Copeland. And that'll bring up now Dante Schwartzman. Here's the pitch from Mac. That's right back to Mac. He's going to throw to third, and that's going to get away. That's a wild throw. And 1 run is going to score, and diving into third, and he is going to be out, is Edson. So he's out at third base. Everson comes in to score. So now it is 5-3 Castlewood. And at first is Schwartzman on the fielder's choice. And that'll bring up Lane Hagenson. He singled back last half inning. So now Castlewood is up 5-3. And on the... Actually, Schwartzman reached on the throwing error, actually. Or no, he reached on the fielder's choice. The throwing error was over at third base. And here's the pitch now from Copeland. That's low and inside. So, 2 outs here for Castlewood, but they are... They've scored a couple of runs here so far. They've grabbed the 5-3 lead. Here's the pitch. It's going to be fouled out of play to the right. 2 balls and a strike to Hagenson. If he reaches, we turn the top of the lineup with Caden Nedved for post 250 here from Castlewood. And the 2-1 pitch now from Copeland. There goes the runner to second. Throw down to second by Heinge. That goes into center field just about, but a nice alert backup play by second baseman Mason Allen that time to probably prevent Schwartzman from going to third. So Schwartzman at second now with a stolen base. And here's the pitch. That is a little bit low, so that's a walk. As Hagenson walks. Six walks given up tonight by Mack here so far.
That'll bring us to the top of the order, number 15.
And that brings up Caden Nedved, now the pitcher, top of the order. So now Schwartzman, Schwartzman is at second, Hagenson is at first. There's a hit down the left field line, and that is going to be, well, it's foul, I guess. So anyway, advancing bases, though, are the runners for Castlewood. Schwartzman to third, Hagenson to second. Here's the pitch from Copeland. That is a ball. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Caden Nedved. He has a sacrifice RBI to left field tonight, and he reached on an error. So the 1-1 now from Copeland. Here it is. There's a little hit down the third base line, but foul. So going back to third will be Schwartzman. Going back to second will be Hagenson. And a 1-2 count. Now Castlewood has scored 2 here so far in the top of the third. And they have a 5-3 lead. Here's the Copeland pitch. That's a fastball that sails outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. And the 2-2 now from Copeland. Here it is. That's high. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Heinge faked to throw down to third. Did not throw. So now the count is full to Caden Nedved. Runners on second and third here for Castlewood. And a full count now. And here's the payoff pitch upcoming from Mack. Here it is. There's a swing and a foul back to the retaining wall. Kind of a tomahawk swing that time by Nedved. Staying alive in the at-bat, though. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Count still full here to the Castlewood pitcher. And the payoff now from Copeland is upcoming. Here it is. That's over to Hunt at third base. Long throw across the diamond, and that's dug out nicely over there at first base by Kai Schooler. So Nedved is out. Third to first. Castlewood does come up with 2 runs, though, to take a 5-3 lead. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th right after this here on KMSD for some of our sponsors.
It's breakfast time at the Millstone Family Restaurant in Milbank. The Millstone loves breakfast as much as you do, but they've decided it's time to step up their breakfast game even more. Check out their new breakfast lineup, which includes blueberry French toast, the chicken and waffles breakfast sandwich, and their new lineup of eggs Benedict. It's all part of their new Shell Yeah breakfast menu at the Millstone Family Restaurant, East Highway 12 in Milbank.
We're passionate about getting yearly mammograms because 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. You can get a yearly mammogram to detect it early. Would it help if I requested nicely? Please, could you be so kind as to get a mammo? We're singing it. Get your mammogram starting at 40, or with a British accent. Schedule your mammo with an Avera Breast Center at avera.org/breast or call 888-422-1410.
Welcome back into American Legion Baseball here on a Tuesday night. Milbank going to come to bat here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Again, we want to thank our sponsors, Schmitz Landing, ITC, Pro Image Partners, Lewis Family Drug, Chiropractic in Motion, Dakota Country Ag Service, Ortonville Area Health Services, Border Lake Insurance, Mertens Auto Sales, Haslund Construction, Bean Pharmacy, 203 Realty, Milbank Tobacco Coalition, Avera Milbank Medical Center, Milbank Area Hospital Avera, and the Millstone Family Restaurant. That'll bring up Mac Copeland now to the batter's box here for Milbank, bottom of the 3rd. Mac sends one into pretty deep center field, and that's going to burn the center fielder, I think. Mac is on his horse. Mac is going to stand at second. He wants 3. Here comes the throw. It's not going to be in time. Lead off triple, Mac Copeland. As Mac, tattooed that ball. Center fielder Dante Schwartzman came in initially, and then he said, uh-oh, this is going to be over my head, as it flew way over his head to the base of the fence at the 372 mark here in center field. Mac on third base now with a double, and that'll bring up Bennett Hunt now, who has an RBI single. Here's the pitch to Bennett. That is right there, but a little bit outside. 1 ball and no strikes to Bennett Hunt. As Mac sent that one airborne that time and over Schwartzman's head in center field. 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the pitch to Hunt. That's a pop-up on the infield. And the catcher cannot come up with it in foul territory, so new life, so to speak, for Bennett Hunt. As Jax Theraldson couldn't quite corral that one that time down the first base line. So a 1-1 count now to Bennett Hunt. Infield playing in now on the infield grass for Castlewood. There's a chopper to second. Took a bad hop, but the second baseman, Logan McMillan, stays with it, but a Bennett Hunt RBI, fielder's choice. So it's now 5-4. That'll bring up Tyler Heinge now with the bases empty and 1 out here for Milbank, bottom of the 3rd. Milbank 1 closer. It's 5-4 Castlewood. And there's a pop-up into foul territory. The catcher, Theraldson, comes to give it a look, but has no play in foul territory. So Heinge returns to the batter's box now with a no ball, 1 strike count. Heinge, the catcher tonight, he wears number 8, right-handed batter for Milbank post 9. As Nedved set to deal now, here's the 0-1. That's low and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. catch a little break here. You're listening to Classic Hits 95.1 KMSD FM, 1510 AM, KMSD Milbank, South Dakota, and streaming audio and video on our YouTube channel at KMSD Radio is our YouTube channel. And here's the 1-2 now to Heinze. He swings and misses. So strikeout number 3 this evening recorded for Caden Nedved, and that'll bring up Mason Allen now, who has a double here tonight. And a run scored. And here's the Nedved pitch. That's at the knees of Mason Allen on the outside corner for a strike. So 1 strike, the count now to Mason Allen. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. That's going to be popped out of play. Foul to the right. Hits the cement over here off to my right as the kids scramble for the baseball. You bring that thing back to the concession stand and you get yourself some money. How about that? Good trade, I would say. So a no ball, 2 strike count now to Mason Allen. And here's the Nedved pitch. That's kind of a reached for pitch that time. And catching a piece foul is Mason Allen. So count remains 0-2. Here's the pitch. There's a swing and a foul. I think Mason, I don't know if he did foul it because he didn't take off to first base. That would have been strike 3, but it was foul ball, obviously. So no balls and 2 strikes as the ball gets away from the catcher. So no balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. That's right back to the pitcher, Nedved. He runs halfway to first himself, flips it over to the first baseman. Mason Allen up and down, pitcher to first. Milbank does get 1 closer, though. They score 1 run, and it's 3 complete here. 5 for Castlewood, 4 for Milbank. Back with more baseball right after this for our sponsors on KMSD.
Health Services reminds you that an annual wellness exam is one of the best ways to stay healthy. Wellness exams can help catch health conditions early, and these visits help your primary care provider deliver care based on your health history and goals. Most insurance plans cover annual wellness visits, but coverage varies, so check with your insurance provider. Take charge of your health and schedule your wellness exam with Ortville Area Health Services. Call 320-839-6157 to schedule.
This year, Pioneer celebrates a century of innovation. From the first corn hybrid to the latest innovation like more seed and less corn, or Pioneer brand Z-Series soybeans. They're proud to be the one you count on when every bushel counts. The 100th season of Pioneer. Contact Paul or Riley at Dakota Country Egg Service in Milbank today at 605-467-0715 or 605-949-4170 to learn more.
And welcome back in here to Milbank. We are entering the top of the 4th inning here as Castlewood still leads here 5-4.
Castlewood here in the top of the 4th, number 2, Brody Bass.
And Castlewood in front, like we said, 5-4, top of the 4th. Brody Bass in the batter's box now for Castlewood. Here's the pitch from Copeland, swing and a miss. Bass has walked tonight, and he's grounded out to second, so officially 0 for 1 tonight. And the Mac Copeland 0-1, here it is. That's outside and high. Evens the count now at 1-1. Here's the 1-1. That is low and in. 2 balls and a strike. And the Copeland pitch, that's a strike at the knees on the inside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. here's the pitch. That's going to be into center field for a single off the bat of Brody Bass. And so that'll bring up now Jax Theraldson, the catcher, number 23.
Jax Theraldson.
Again, 1 7-inning contest here tonight. Again, you're listening to Classic Hits 95.1 KMSD FM, 1510 AM KMSD, Milbank, South Dakota. Streaming audio video, BigStoneRadio.com, and our YouTube channel as well. As it's 1 ball and no strikes to Jax Theraldson with Bass on first. And nobody out here. Castlewood up 5-4. Top of the 4th inning. Here's the Copeland offering now at the 1-0. Here's the pitch. That's a strike at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Mac comes to the set now with Bass on first. They've got him picked off. Down to shortstop, and they're going to get him out at second base. As Mac Copeland made a nice move that time. Brody had committed already toward second base, so he took off, and Mac threw behind him at first base. And then the first baseman threw over to the shortstop, and there was a collision at second base, but Brody Bass was out. So now the bases are empty for Castlewood with 1 out here in the top of the 4th. And here's the Copeland pitch. That's high and outside on the fastball. So 1 ball and no strikes to Theraldson. 2-1, I beg your pardon. And here comes the 2-1 now from Mac. That is going to be a strike. So it evens the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Castlewood leads Milbank 5-4. Legion baseball here. Final tune-up before the postseason begins. Here's the pitch. That is into right field, but in foul territory. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jax Theraldson. Region 1B starts on this very baseball field right here in the birthplace of American Legion Baseball next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And the 2-2 now from Mac. That's low and inside. That gets away from Heinge, away back to the retaining wall. But for now, no damage done because no Castlewood baseball players are on bases. So, the full count pitch now is going to be upcoming here to Jax Theraldson. And here it is from Mac. That's going to be low and inside, so another walk tonight. 7 walks tonight given up so far by Mac Copeland. Then there's going to be a courtesy runner for Jax Theraldson, so he can basically get his catching gear on. That's number 4, Kyrell Baker. He's at first base now. There's a swing and a kind of a half swing, but a committed swing that time by Davis Gales. No ball and 1 strike the count to the Castlewood third baseman. And here's the pitch from Copeland. That is going to be low and inside. That gets away. So down to second base goes Baker for Castlewood. Castlewood leads here in a tight one, 5-4. And we're in the top of the 4th inning. Again, 1 7-inning contest here tonight from Milbank. And the 1-1 pitch upcoming now to Gales. Here it is. That is low and inside. 2-1. Mac has his sign. The Milbank left-hander's 2-1 pitch. Here it is. That's golf down the third base line, but foul. Even up the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pinch runner Baker out at second here for post 250 with one out here in the top of the fourth inning. And here's the 2-2 pitch now from Mack. That is a called third strike. Nice pitch by Mack that time. Strikeout number 2 for Copeland. And that'll bring up Trevor Everson. Left fielder. He struck out tonight, and he has an RBI single, and he scored a run. So the Copeland offering now, here it is. That's inside to Trevor Everson. Here's the pitch to Everson. That's a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to the left fielder for post 250. And here comes the 1-1 now. Pick off to second, and that throw goes into center field. Now gaining third will be Baker. So now it's a 1-1 count yet to Everson. Here's the pitch from Copeland. That is going to be foul down the third base line. That started in fair territory and kind of dribbled off foul. So returning back to the batter's box now is Everson, and back to third base is Baker.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next 5 foul balls will be worth $10 if you take them back to the concession stand.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Everson. Oh, he reached for that one literally and dumped it into short right field. RBI single for Everson. Baker comes in to score. And it is now 6-4 Castlewood.
Number 24, Logan McMillan.
And that was literally Everson just putting the bat on the ball that time and just dumping it over the head of second baseman Mason Allen. And now McMillan in the batter's box, Logan McMillan. He has lined out to the pitcher, and he's gone out, popped out to second base. On a nice play by Mason Allen at that time. Here's the pitch from Copeland. There's a swing and a miss. So Mack jumps ahead. Now no balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs. Castlewood has scored 1 here so far in the top of the fourth to grab a 6-4 lead. Here's the pitch, the 0-2. There's a pop-up. And that's going to be not caught in foul territory by any Milbank athlete. Heinge gave it a look from his catching position. Kai Schooler charged in from his first base position. Neither player could come up with it. So the no ball, 2 strike count continues now to Logan McMillan here with 2 outs, 1 on base, and a 6-4 Castlewood lead. Here's the Copeland pitch. That's laced into left field. That's going to be a single. And so nice piece of hitting that time by Logan McMillan. Lining a single to left. That makes Everson go into second base now. So Castlewood threatening again. Runners on first and second here. That'll bring up Kipton Eidson for Castlewood.
Number 3, Kipton Eidson.
Eidson tonight has walked twice. He scored a run, so no official at-bats tonight yet for Eidson as he takes one right across the plate, but outside. 1 ball and no strikes to Eidson. Again, Castlewood has scored 1 here so far, and they got runners at first and second. There are 2 outs here in the top of the fourth, and there's the Copeland pitch. That misses. 2 balls and no strikes. And the 2-0 now from Mack. Here it is. That's low. 3 balls and no strikes. And the 3-0 now from Matt Copeland. Here it is. That is a ball. So the bases are loaded now. Eidson goes to first. McMillan to second. Everson to third. And there's going to be a visit from the pitching or from the third base dugout. Brady Femling is going to take the ball from Mack. So we'll catch up with the defensive changes on the other side of this timeout. You're in tune to KMSD and our YouTube channel. Castlewood 6, Milbank 4. We'll be back with more baseball right after this from our sponsors.
Reasons why you can turn to us. We'll help you show your pride. You want the best for work or play. We're your one-stop image shop. We'll help you show your pride. ProImagePartners.com.
Ready for fiber-fast internet and friendly service? Experience unbeatable speed and local support with ITC, your community-connected cooperative. When you call ITC, you're talking to a real person, a neighbor, not a robot. We take pride in offering same-day or next-day support when you need it, and our support doesn't stop there. With investment initiatives like ITC Impact, we're giving back to the communities that make us great. Faster internet and friendlier service are in reach with ITC. Get started today.
All right, your defensive changes. Bennett Hunt is on the mound now for Milbank. Aiden Kelly goes to third, and Matt Copeland goes into right field. So Matt Copeland goes 3 2/3 here tonight. So Matt gets credit for 3 2/3 here tonight. As Milbank is trailing here 6-4, top of the fourth. And again, 1 7-inning game here tonight in Milbank. And again, don't forget Region 1B, American Legion Baseball, right here in Milbank. Next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Here's your rundown. Next Tuesday, game 1 at noon, Big Stone City, post 229, and Groton post 39 will play. And then game 2 will feature Milbank post 9, Claremont post 262 at about 2:30-ish, I suppose. And then after that game at about 5 o'clock, Sisseton post 50 will take on the winner of Big Stone City and Groton. And then the two losers of the games will play game 4 at about 7:30. That's Tuesday. It goes Wednesday and ends on Thursday. Region 1B American Legion Baseball here from Milbank. Here's the Bennett Hunt pitch. Swing and a miss. By Dante Schwartzman. Here's the pitch. That is low. Bases are full of 2 Castlewood post 250 runners. An ideal opportunity here for Schwartzman to do some damage and see if Hunt can put out the fire here for Milbank. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here comes the Hunt pitch. That is into center field, right at Jackson Weesey. Hardly moves. Jackson puts it in the glove. So Castlewood leaves the bases loaded. They do push across 1, 3.5 from Milbank. It is Castlewood 6, Milbank 4. Back with the bottom of the 4th. Right after this here on KMSD.
Imagine a future where tobacco is a thing of the past, remaining only as a relic in a museum display case for tour guides to tell tales of, where the life-threatening damage caused by tobacco is gone, extinct, where the world has seen its last smoke put out. Smokes, vapes, and chew tips belong in a museum of ancient history, not your mouth. Start your quit today. Find out more at thelastsmoke.org. Paid for by the South Dakota Department of Health
and the Milbank Tobacco Coalition.
At 203 Realty in Milbank, a huge part of their formula for success is their agent team. One of those agents is Brandon Perry. Brandon is a Wilmot native, Northern State grad, and has resided in Milbank for over 22 years. Brandon joined the real estate world after 25 years of service in the National Guard. Brandon's attention to detail, patience, commitment to his customers, and willingness to put in the extra hours is what sets him apart.
Hi, this is Brandon Perry with 203 Realty. Contact us today by visiting 203-realty.com. At 203 Realty, your address is more than just a number.
And welcome back to a beautiful Legion Field here in Milbank. Again, I'm Chad. Glad to be along with you. Doug back at our studios tonight. And again, thanks to each and every one of the sponsors on both the video and audio side of things. As without those fine folks, of course, none of this broadcasting would be possible. I'll give you a little weather update here. As we are down now to 89 degrees and it feels like of 94 here in Milbank. Yeah, it's still a steam bath here on your Thursday night. Here's Kai Schooler now in the batter's box. He's going to fly one down the right field line. First baseman Eidson in foul territory makes the catch. So one pitch and one out. Kai Schooler pops out to first base. That'll bring up Brady Allen now for Milbank. He is 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out. So here's the pitch now from Nedved. That misses. 1 ball and no strikes. Again, Milbank is trailing here 6-4 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Base is empty, 1 out. Here's the Nedved pitch. That's a swing and a miss by Brady. He wanted to hit that one hard somewhere and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike to the Milbank shortstop. And here's the 1-1 now from Nedved. That is low and inside. 2 balls and a strike. And here's the 2-1 now to Brady. He takes it. 3 balls and a strike. So Brady trying to get a little rally going here for Milbank with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. And the 3-1 now from Nedved. Here it is. That's low and outside. Brady gets a walk. So that brings up the top of the order now with Jackson Weesey. He's got a single and an RBI tonight and a strikeout. So Jackson 1 for 2 tonight with an RBI. And there's a hard shot right up the center of the field. That's going to get past the pitcher. That's going to hit the shortstop, Brody Bass. And neither athlete can come up with it. So a stinging single by Jackson Weesey. And that'll send Brady Allen to second.
That'll bring up number 26.
And Jackson Weesey is at first with his single. And now there's, I don't know, Brady Allen was kind of kneeling on second base there, and the coaches are looking at him, so hopefully Brady's going to be okay. I didn't see exactly what happened, if there was a little bit of a collision or something, or did Brady just went in awkward probably to second base. He's going to jog it off a little bit now around the second base bag, out into left field a little bit. Yeah, Brady is, I think he's going to be okay. He's just a slight limp out there, perhaps at second base, but hopefully Brady will be okay. He's going to stay in the game. Brady Allen at second, now Jackson Weesey at first. That'll bring up Caleb Lindstrom now, so actually the tying run now is on base for Milbank. Weesey at first. It is 6-4. Castlewood is leading, and Milbank threatening here with runners on first and second with 1 out. And here's the pitch to Lindstrom. He swung and missed. Caleb Lindstrom has singled tonight, and he was hit by a pitch. So the no ball, 1 strike count to Caleb. Here it is. There's a pop fly out of play back behind home plate.
That is a $10 foul ball.
Oh my heavens, a $10 foul ball, ladies and gentlemen. That would, oh man, That's really, really cool. I've never, ever, in all my years of broadcasting, heard of a $10 foul ball. I just did. Here's the 0-2. That's fist shot over to first base. This could be a tough play. Race to the base, and, Lindstrom is well, now he's hurt. He kind of hit the base wrong, I think, but boy, that was a bang, bang play. Weesey goes into second. Brady Allen goes into third, but now Caleb Lindstrom is laying down the first base line. I don't know if I think he kind of tripped over the bag or something. It was a bang, bang play as Lindstrom was out. He was pitcher to first, basically, but now Lindstrom is back up, and looks like he's going to come out. I don't know, is he going to come out of the game? And I don't know, he got out at first base. Okay, that's my bad. So Caleb was out at first base, and he was injured, but now it looks like he's going to be probably okay. So anyway, Aiden Kelly now in the batter's box. He's got a single tonight, and he's flied out to left. Runners on second and third for Milbank now, and there's 2 outs here. And here's the pitch. That is on the ground to third. That goes under the third baseman's glove. Throw over to first, and that's going to be just in time. Oh my, Aiden Kelly was racing down the first base line, and that got under the third baseman's glove. Shortstop Brody Bass picked it up, threw over to first, and got Aiden Kelly by about half a step and no more. Milbank threatens but does not score. 4 complete. Castlewood 6, Milbank 4. We'll be back with more Legion Baseball right after this from our sponsors here on KMSD.
Your health, you deserve a pharmacy that knows you by name. At Bean Pharmacy, your well-being is their priority. Stop in for fast, friendly service, convenient drive-through pickup, and a full line of durable medical equipment to keep you moving. Need a quick refill? Submit your prescription anytime online at beanpharmacy.com. Bean Pharmacy, where patients come first. Find them inside the Avera Medical Center in Milbank. Bean Pharmacy, your hometown pharmacy with a personal touch, because caring for you is what they do best.
Haslett Construction in Ortonville, Minnesota is known for their quality work. Additions to the Valley Queen Cheese Factory and First Bank and Trust, St. Lawrence School, Milbank Elementary, Ortonville Area Health Services, and the Big Stone County Highway Department Garage, and so many other projects over the years. They are known for their quality work and professionalism on the job. That's what makes Haslett Construction the contractor you want for your building project. Go with the people you trust. Haslett Construction, Ortonville, Minnesota.
And welcome back in here to Milbank. Top of the 5th is where we are. Castlewood is going to come up here and take some hacks here in the top of the 5th inning, and they are leading 6-4 here on the scoreboard. That'll bring up Lane Hagenson, now number 9 for Castlewood. And he takes a strike. Hagenson tonight has singled, and he has walked and scored a run. Here's the pitch. That is low. Again, 1 7-inning game here tonight. And here's the pitch. That's a foul back to the netting. So, Bennett Hunt ahead now, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Turn the top of the lineup, and Caden Nedved next here for post number 250 from Castlewood. And the Bennett Hunt 1-2. Here it is. That's low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the 2-2, that's outside. So it's a full count now to Hagenson. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch upcoming by Hunt. Here it is. That is outside. So Hagenson draws the walk. That'll bring up Caden Nedved now, the pitcher, number 15. Nedved tonight has reached on an error. He's got a sacrifice fly RBI, and he's grounded out to third. So the Bennett Hunt pitch, here it is. That is low, right across the plate, but low. 1 ball and no strikes. Hagenson on first, nobody out here in the top of the 5th inning. Again, this one goes 7, and that's the only game we have for you tonight. 1 ball and no strikes. And the Hunt pitch, there it is. That's outside. Throw down to second is there, and out at second. What a nice throw that time by Tyler Heinge. They were waiting at second base to apply the tag to Hagenson that time, so now the bases are empty, and that's 1 out. As Heinge fired a BB down to second base. And like I said, they were waiting for him with ball in glove that time. Here's the 1-0 now. There's a pop-up high in the air down the third base line, and that is gloved by third baseman Aiden Kelly. So, 2 up and now 2 down. As Brody Bass comes to the dish now for Castlewood. And now all of a sudden there's 2 outs and bases are empty. Here's the pitch. That's kind of a curveball that's in there for a strike. Bass tonight has walked. He has singled. He has grounded out to second. And the pitch now upcoming by Hunt. Here it is. That is a strike at the knees on the fastball. No balls and 2 strikes. Bennett Hunt way ahead here. So no balls and 2 strikes. Castlewood leads 6-4, top of the 5th. Here's the pitch from Hunt. There's a beautiful curveball and a swing and a miss. So strikeout number 1 by Bennett Hunt. So 3 up and 3 down the way it turned out. Here for Castlewood, 4.5 complete. Castlewood 6, Milbank 4. We'll be back with more baseball from Milbank coming up right after these messages here on KMSD.
In Milbank and Ortonville is your locally owned independent insurance agency. As an independent insurance agency, Carrie Holquist and staff at Border Lake Insurance have access to multiple companies that offer home, farm, auto, commercial, life, and health products. Border Lake Insurance has 2 convenient locations. Stop by or call their Main Street office in Milbank at 605-432-5884. Or in Ortonville, call 320-839-6145. Located in Grand Marais State Bank, formerly the Sen Bank Building. Border Lake Insurance. Insurance agents you can count on.
When your vehicle needs professional attention, trust the hometown team that's been keeping Milbank rolling for years. Merton's Auto Sales, formerly Milbank Ford. The same professional service, just a new name. If you're looking for your next ride, check out the lot and you'll find quality cars, trucks, and SUVs, all inspected and ready to roll. Honest work, fair prices, reliable service you can count on. Stop by Merton's Auto Sales today and drive away confident. West Highway 12 in Milbank or mertonsautosales.com.
Batters 4, 5, and 6 will face Castlewood right-hander Caden Nedved here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Mac Copeland, Bennett Hunt, and Tyler Heinge for post 9. Again, Castlewood is leading here 6-4 at beautiful Legion Field here on a hot, I wish I could think of another adjective, but it's just hot out here. Kind of a breeze as well, but we'll Check your latest temperature here now, according to my phone. Oh, it's gone down now to 88 degrees. We started, I think, tonight with a game time temperature of 90, so it's gone down a whole 2 degrees here, ladies and gentlemen. Felt like 96 on first pitch. Now it feels like 94. So, there you have it. Matt Copeland now at the batter's box for Milbank. He's been on twice tonight, reached on an error, and had a triple.
There goes another bunny ball.
And there's another foul ball that I think is still worth $10 probably. So no balls and 1 strike. Now the count to Matt Copeland. Here it is. That misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Again, 1 7-inning contest here tonight. Here's the pitch from Nedved, a swing and a miss. Copeland wanted to put that over the right field fence that time. 1 ball and 2 strikes now on the mighty swing from Mack. Here's the 1-2. There's a swing and a miss. Strikeout number 4 recorded tonight for Nedved. That'll bring up the now pitcher, Bennett Hunt, for Milbank. Bennett started this game at third base, but now he's on the bump for Milbank. And here's the pitch now. There's a shot down the left field line, but way foul. Bennett around a little bit too early on that one as he stung that ball down the left field line, but it flew way foul. And it's a no ball, 1 strike count now to number 15, Bennett Hunt. 1 out, bases empty, bottom of the 5th. Castlewood up 6-4. There's a strike at the knees of Hunt. No balls and 2 strikes. Tyler Heinge waits on deck here for post 9. And the 0-2 pitch now from Nedved. Here it is. There's a swing and a foul back to the retaining wall here behind home plate. So count rides along. No balls and 2 strikes. And here comes the Nedved pitch. That's sharply on the ground to short. Bass has trouble with it. He's going to pick it up and fire over to first. That's an errant throw. Bennett Hunt takes the wide turn. Bennett's going to go into second. So Bennett reaches first and goes to second on an error. As it was an errant throw, so Bennett Hunt on second for Milbank, and that'll bring up Tyler Heinge now for the post 9 team. He has struck out and flied out to center. So Bennett Hunt out at second now with 1 out. Here's the pitch to Heinge. That is low and inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the 1-0 to Tyler. He's going to get hit by the pitch. So he's going to go to first base. And that'll bring up now Mason Allen. Mason tonight has doubled, and he has grounded out pitcher to first. He scored a run as well. Courtesy runner now is Jared Swenson, so Tyler Heinge can go get his catching gear on. Swenson at first now for Milbank. There's a throw back to second. Meanwhile, they thought they were going to catch Bennett Hunt napping, but Bennett gets back in to second base safely as the second baseman Logan McMillan received that throw from Caden Nedved. And Mason Allen waiting for the first pitch to come homeward here to him. Runners on first and second for Milbank. Here's the pitch to Mason. That's high and in. That just about hit Mason, but it didn't. So 1 ball and no strikes. Tying run, Jared Swenson over at first for Milbank. It's 6-4 Castlewood, bottom of the 5th. And here's the 1-0 pitch. There's a weak grounder to the pitcher. Nedved over to first, and they get Mason Allen. So Allen grounds out, pitcher to first. Each runner goes an extra base, though. Bennett Hunt to third. Swenson, the pinch runner, to second. And that'll bring up now Kai Schooler. Kai has singled, and he has popped out to first. So if Kai could get a single or a double here or something, this game would be tied. But we'll see what Kai can do here at the dish. Here's the pitch from Nedved. That is low, and threatening to throw down to third that time was the catcher, Jax Theraldson, but it's good he didn't because nobody was covering, nobody was on third. So 1 ball and no strikes to Schooler. Here's the pitch. Grounded down the third base line, foul. Brady Femling comes up with a nice play down there at the third base coaching box. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kai Schooler, 2 outs. Runners on second and third for Milbank. Castlewood leads here 6-4. And here's the 1-1 now. That is grounded to short. Takes a funny hop on Bass, but he throws it over to first. Nice play by Brody Bass as he gets Kai Schooler out. So Milbank strands runners at second and third. They score no runs here. 5 complete. Castlewood 6, Milbank 4. Back with more Legion Baseball from Milbank. Coming up after this here on KMSD.
You don't have to live with aches and pains. See Dr. Matt at Chiropractic and Motion. With a minor adjustment, headaches, numbness, and pain can be relieved. Dr. Matt is the type of chiropractor that helps his patients by correcting the problem with as few visits as possible. Chiropractic in Motion looks forward to seeing their customers outside of the office, enjoying their lifestyle with a smile. The next time you have aches and pains, count on the helping hands of Dr. Matt. He's there when you need him. Chiropractic in Motion Sports Injury and Family Wellness Center, Highway 12, Milbank.
Lewis Family Drug is your one-stop location. In addition to quality prescription and non-prescription drugs with free delivery, Lewis has a huge selection of everyday basics and name brands and specialty items, always at affordable prices. They carry seasonal items, fabrics, crafts, and groceries. Shopping at your local Lewis Drug is more simple and more rewarding than ever. Download the Lewis mobile app to add on-the-go convenience to your errands. Lewis Family Drug. Everyday savings close to home.
And welcome back here to the birthplace of American Legion Baseball, Milbank, South Dakota. Again, you're in tune to Classic Hits, 95.1 KMSD FM, 1510 AM KMSD, Milbank, South Dakota, and streaming audio and video to the wide world. YouTube, our YouTube channel, at KMSD Radio. Again, I'm Chad, glad to be along with you here tonight. As we are getting ready here to enter the 6th inning, top of the 6th inning. Castlewood batters 3, 4, and 5 against Milbank relief pitcher Bennett Hunt. Starting pitcher Matt Copeland goes 3 2/3 tonight for Milbank, and Hunt takes over in the 3rd. And here's the pitch now. There's a grounder to third, a sharp grounder, but sticking with it over there and throwing over to first. Nice scoop by Schooler over there. Aiden Kelly made a nice play at third and then fired a BB over to Schooler, and he had to not only stretch but take it off the turf, or take it off the ground. So Jack Theraldson out 5-3 on a good defensive play on both ends that time for Milbank. And that'll bring up now Davis Gales, who has walked a couple of times tonight, struck out, and scored a run. Gales' walks were against starting pitcher Matt Copeland tonight. 1-0 the count to Gales. Here comes the Hunt pitch. That's a strike at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, we're in the top of the 6th. Castlewood is leading here 6-4. 1 7-inning game here this evening. And the 1-1 count now from Hunt. Here it is. There's a sharp grounder down the third base line, right inside the third base bag. And that will be a single for Davis Gales. As left fielder Caleb Lindstrom got to that one pretty fast down the left field line to hold Gales to a single. That'll bring up Everson now, who has an RBI single tonight, another single and an RBI, and a strikeout. So 2 singles, 2 RBIs tonight. And there's a grounder to third, and that's not going to be played that time by Aiden Kelly. So Everson should be reaching on an error as Gales goes to second, and Logan McMillan comes to the plate now. He has singled and lined out and popped out to second base. So now Castlewood threatening again here. Runners on first and second. Throw back to second. That's going to go into center field. And there will be no throw to third, as advancing to third is Davis Gales. So they have runners at first and third now. Does Castlewood. There's only one out. And they are already leading here 6-4. So, of course, if you're Milbank now, you want to stop any further damage here if possible. But a no count, I guess. There goes the runner to second, blocked by Heinge, but that's going to be a stolen base by Trevor Everson. So Everson is at second now. Gales is at third. Only one out here for Castlewood in the top of the 6th inning, and they are leading here 6-4 over Milbank. American Legion baseball here on a Thursday night, as the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Here comes the pitch. That is high and outside on the fastball. 2 balls and no strikes. First base is unoccupied, but of course if you're Milbank, you'd like to keep it unoccupied. As the 2-0 now, here it is. There's a swing and a miss. Might have gotten a little piece of that. 2 balls and a strike. As McMillan jogs down to the third base coach now, as Heinge is going to bring the ball back out to his pitcher, Bennett Hunt. So 2 balls and 1 strike to count to Logan McMillan. And the 2-1 count to McMillan. And here it is. There's a pop fly back to the netting, and actually that's going to hit on top of our press box here. If that roof wouldn't have been on top of me, I think I would have been clonked on the head, perhaps, on that one.
Yikes, that almost made it in there.
So 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Logan McMillan, with runners on second and third for Castlewood here, with 1 out here. Here's the pitch from Hunt. That is high. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So full count now to Logan McMillan. And here comes the payoff pitch. That's laced into left field for a single. 1 run is going to score. 2 runs are going to score. And so now Castlewood on a 2 RBI single by Logan McMillan. And Gales comes in to score. Everson comes in to score. So now it is 8-4 Castlewood. And that'll bring up now Kipton Eidson for Castlewood. So McMillan laced that one pretty hard into left field. And then Lindstrom overran it just a little bit in left field. So that allowed McMillan to get into second base now, where he is with 1 out and a no ball, 1 strike count. 8-4. Castlewood has doubled their lead here in the top of the 6th inning. And the 0-1 pitch now from Hunt. Here it is. That's a beautiful curveball. That's going to be popped up on the infield. Schooler at first base puts that one away. So Eidson pops out to first baseman Kai Schooler. That'll bring up Dante Schwartzman. Dante tonight reached on an error. He has flied out to center field. And now there are 2 outs. Here's the pitch from Hunt. It's a swing and a miss. Perhaps the pitch a little bit low that time, but looked good to Schwartzman, so he took a whack at it and missed. No balls and 1 strike. The count to the center fielder from Castlewood. And the Bennett Hunt 0-1 pitch. Here it is. That's a strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Now to Dante Schwartzman. 8-4, Castlewood up here in the top of the 6th inning. And here comes the Bennett Hunt pitch. That's hit into right field, but in foul territory. And nobody would get to that one because that's out of play. Schooler giving good chase over there. Right fielder Mac Copeland as well. But that was out of play. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Schwartzman. With runners on just a runner on second now for Castlewood. They've scored 2 here so far in the 6th. Here's the pitch. There's a hit into left center field, and that's going to be Lindstrom coming in, charging in toward the infield. Caleb Lindstrom puts it in his glove, but Castlewood does score 2 runs here in the top of the 6th. 5.5 complete. Castlewood 8, Milbank 4. Back with more Legion baseball coming up right after this for a message from our video sponsors here tonight on KMSD.
Darren and his crew offer the best mechanic service, along with a full lineup of Ford vehicles. They pride themselves on the honest and friendly way of doing business. Check out MilbankFord.com to see what they have to offer, or stop by Milbank Ford, West Highway 12, Milbank.
Whimsy on Main makes it easy to find unique gifts for all occasions. Whimsy specializes in packages specific to your gift-giving needs. Shop in store for books, home toys, games, and more, Monday through Saturday, or online at whimsyonmain.com. Let Whimsy on Main be your one-stop gift shop on Main Street, Milbank.
This broadcast brought to you locally by Dennis Mears, financial advisor with Legacy Financial Partners, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. Your future is counting on the right financial advice.
Welcome back into the broadcast booth here, high above the Milbank Legion Field. I'm Chad, glad to be along with you. As adding 2 runs in the top of the 6th inning was Castlewood to take an 8-4 lead. And that will now bring to the dish for Milbank. Brady Allen here to start the bottom of the 6th inning for Milbank. Brady Allen tonight has struck out and he's walked. Here's the pitch. There's a hit into right center field. That could be a tough one, but the right fielder comes over to glove it. Lane Hagenson, excuse me. So Brady Allen flies out to right field. They'll bring up top of the order now with Jackson Weesey for Milbank. Again, nobody on base here with 1 out. Milbank running out of outs. They're down 8-4. They've got 5 outs left. Here's the pitch to Weesey. That's low and outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Again, just 1 7-inning game here tonight. As it's 1-0. Now the count to Weesey. Dribbler to third. Second hop by the third baseman. Throws over to first. And that's not going to be in time. Jackson Weesey turning on the Jets that time to beat out an infield single. As Caleb Lindstrom now comes to the dish for Milbank. Caleb Lindstrom tonight has gone out to first baseman to the pitcher. He was hit by a pitch and he singled. He took a pretty good tumble last at bat over the first base bag, but he looks pretty good now, so Caleb Lindstrom stays in the game. As Weesey is on first. And Lindstrom is going to go the other way with it, but hit it foul off to the right. No ball and 1 strike. The count now to number 26, the left fielder, Caleb Lindstrom. Jackson Weesey on first. Castlewood up here 8-4. And we are in the bottom of the 6th inning. And here's the 0-1 pitch now upcoming to Lindstrom, and that's going to be a ball. So it evens the count now, 1 ball and 1 strike. It's number 26. And the thrower to first. Jackson Weesey slides back in safely head first. So 1 ball and 1 strike. The count continues here to Caleb Lindstrom. And there goes the runner. Weesey to second. The catcher, ball gets away from the catcher. Jackson in safely with a stolen base. That'll bring now a 2-1 count to Caleb Lindstrom. Milbank still needs to come up with 4 runs here to tie matters. They've got 5 outs here left to do it. Here's the pitch. Lindstrom, that's going to be a diving stop by the second baseman over to first. Not in time, but what a play out there by Logan McMillan. Oh, my heavens, he prevented a run for sure and just about got the out at first base. But Caleb Lindstrom beats it out for an infield single as Weesey goes to third, and that'll bring up Aiden Kelly now for Milbank. Aiden Kelly now at third base defensively for Milbank. But that was a nice play out there by second baseman Logan McMillan, and there goes the runner Lindstrom to second. He's in standing up. So Aiden Kelly is grounded out to short tonight. He is singled, and he is flied out to left field. So the 1-0 count now with runners on second and third for Milbank and only 1 out. There's a strike delivered to Kelly, so evens the count now. 1 ball and 1 strike. There's a pitch that is into the air into left field. Charging in is the left fielder, and Trevor Everson gloves it. So Kelly flies out to left field, and that'll bring up now Mac Copeland for Milbank. Mac has struck out, he has tripled, and he's reached on an error, and he scored a couple of runs tonight. So Mac with an ideal opportunity here to chop the lead a little bit if he could get a safety here. Here's the pitch to Mac. There's a swing and a miss. High heat that time from Caden Nedved, who's gone the whole way here tonight for post 250. A 1 strike count here to Mac Copeland. Here is the 0-1. That's going to hit Mac. Yes, it did. So bases are full now of post 9 runners. And that'll bring up Bennett Hunt. And Bennett does represent the tying run now for Milbank. As again, the bases are loaded here for post 9. There are 2 outs, but Bennett Hunt at the dish. And if he could put one over the fence, we've got a brand new ball game. Here's the pitch from Nedved. That's a strike at the knees on the outside corner. A 1 strike count now to Bennett Hunt with an ideal opportunity here with 2 outs. Castlewood up 8-4 for now here in the bottom of the 6th. There's the Nedved pitch. There's a hit into short left field. That could be trouble. It's going to drop. 1 run is going to score. 2 runs are going to score. A 2-run single to left by Bennett Hunt. He's got 4 RBIs tonight, ladies and gentlemen, with those 2 right there. So it is now 8-6. That lead has been chopped in half as Jackson Weesey scores. Right behind him was Caleb Lindstrom. That'll bring bring up Tyler Heinge now as Copeland stops at second. So Mack is at second, Bennett Hunt is at first. And Heinge, there is a single into center field. Copeland is going to round third, and he's going to scamper home. RBI single belongs to Tyler Heinge. So don't look now. It is 8-7. Milbank is down by 1. They have scored 3 so far here in the bottom of the 6th inning on the Tyler Heinge RBI single. And that'll bring up now Mason Allen, and there's going to be a walk to the mound by one of the Castlewood coaches. We'll see if this is the hook here for the pitcher, Caden Nedved, or just a meeting at the mound. We'll be able to tell here shortly, but Milbank has come back here with 3 so far in the bottom of the 6th inning. So now it's 8-7. And we want to thank our baseball sponsors here, including the Millstone Family Restaurant, Avera Milbank Medical Center, Milbank Area Hospital Avera, Milbank Tobacco Coalition, 203 Realty, Bean Pharmacy, Haslam Construction, Merton's Auto Sales, Border Lake Insurance, Ortonville Area Health Services, Dakota Country Ag Service, Chiropractic in Motion, Lewis Family Drug, Pro Image Partners, ITC, and Schmitz Landing. Thanks to each and every one of those fine businesses, as well as our video and audio video sponsors as well on YouTube. And Mason Allen now with an ideal opportunity here to tie the game. Hey, that one goes back to the pitcher, though. He fields his position. Mason Allen grounds out. Pitcher to first. But damage done. Milbank gets 3 closer. After 6 complete, Castlewood 8, Milbank 7. Back with the top of the 7th coming up right after this for more of our video sponsors here on YouTube and KMSD.
It's the difference fiber-fast internet can make in your home or business. ITC pairs unbeatable speed with local support to provide an exceptional customer experience. Get started today with ITC, your community-connected cooperative.
Smoke breaks take time. Time away from defining moments in life. His moment of glory was your moment. Wasted. Fewer moments wasted. More good years.
Pro Image Partners. So many reasons why you can turn to us. We'll help you show your pride. ProImagePartners.com.
Ortonville Area Health Services. Our mission? At Ortonville Area Health Services, we provide personalized, high-quality, and compassionate care through caring professionals in a healing environment. Your healthcare home, Ortonville Area Health Services.
And welcome back here to Milbank. We've got a good one. Castlewood jumped out after a pretty good first few innings, but Castlewood scored 3. Let's see, they scored 2 in their top half of the 6th to take an 8-4 lead. Milbank storms back with 3 to make it 8-7 here as we enter the top of the 7th. And Castlewood will send up Kyrell Baker now for them, who is batting for Higginson evidently.
Kyrell Baker.
So Baker is batting here. He takes a high fastball from Hunt. So 1 ball and no strikes to pinch hitter Baker. And the 1-0 pitch now, here it is. That is a strike at the knees from Hunt. 1 ball and 1 strike. You're listening to Classic Hits, 95.1 KMSD FM, 1510 AM, KMSD Milbank, South Dakota, and streaming audio and video on our YouTube channel at KMSD Radio. Just into the 8 o'clock hour here on a Thursday night. Last regular season tune-up here for both teams. 2-1. Here comes the Bennett Hunt pitch. That's a beautiful curveball in for a strike. When that left Bennett's hands, I thought that might hit the batter Baker, but it floated over the plate for a 2-ball, 2-strike count. to Kyrell Baker. Bases are empty. Nobody out here. Castlewood batting in the top of the 7th, leading 8-7. There's a swing and a miss. Strikeout number 2 recorded in relief for Bennett Hunt tonight. And that now will bring the top of the order, and Caden Nedved for Castlewood. Caden tonight has reached on an error. He has grounded to third, sacrifice fly RBI, and popped out to third as well. Here's the Hunt pitch. That is a strike at the knees. Center cut fastball that time from Bennett. So 1 strike. The count to Nedved. Bennett Hunt has his sign, and the Milbank right-hander goes into the wind. Here's the pitch. That's a 2-hopper to short. Brady Allen, it goes over his glove. And that's probably a bad hop single that time for Caden Nedved, as that kind of took a nasty hop over Brady Allen that time, and that will bring up now Brody Bass. So Brody Bass now in the batter's box with 1 out, and Nedved at first. And the pitch upcoming now to Bass. And here's the pitch. That is low. That gets away from the catcher Heinge. Going into second is Nedved. Bass tonight has walked, grounded out to second, singled, struck out. That's his line here tonight. 1 ball and no strikes to the Castlewood shortstop. And Bennett Hunt with the pitch. Here it is. That's a curveball that's popped high into the air, into the infield. First baseman Schooler says, I have it, and he squeezes it. So Bass pops out to first baseman Kai Schooler. That'll bring up Jack Theraldson now, number 23. He's grounded out to second, flied out to left, walked, scored a run, and grounded out to third. So runner now still at second, but now there are 2 outs. Caden Nedved is at second. 8-7, Castlewood leading. Here's the pitch. There's a swing and a miss. Nice pitch by Bennett that time. Enticing the swing and the miss by Jack Theraldson. And here's the Hunt pitch. That's high and in. Almost a little bit of chin music that time to Theraldson, but he didn't hardly move at all to get out of the way of that one, but it did not hit him. So 1 ball and 1 strike now to Theraldson. And the Bennett Hunt offering, here it comes. That is a strike at the knees on the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Bennett Hunt, or from Bennett Hunt, excuse me, to Jack Theraldson. Caden Nedved out at second for Castlewood. They lead 8-7 here in the top of the 7th. Here's the pitch. There's a swing and just a foul to stay alive in the at-bat. Again, when that left Bennett's hand and got closer to home plate, I was going to swear that was going to hit Theraldson, but it kind of floated over the corner of the plate right at the end. And Theraldson fouled it to stay alive in the at-bat. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Theraldson with the runner on second. 2 out, top of the 7th. Castlewood leads here 8-7. Milbank in the bottom half of the inning will send up the top of their order. And there's a throwback to second, and what an athletic catch out there by Mason Allen. Otherwise, that would have gone probably into center field. And Nedved stays at second, of course. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Theraldson. And here's the pitch. There's a jam shot, but that's going to be foul right back to the netting. So the count rides along now. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1 1-2 the count now to Jax Theraldson. And here's the 1-2. That is low and outside from Bennett Hunt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Castlewood leads 8-7. Top of the 7th. We go 1 game here tonight. Not the conventional doubleheader. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Theraldson. And here comes the Bennett Hunt pitch. That's outside, so fills up the count now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the payoff pitch from Hunt. Here it is. There's a swing and a foul about 3 feet to the right of home plate. Count remains full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nedved out at second for Castlewood. And the payoff pitch again upcoming now from Hunt. And here it is. That's on the ground to shortstop. Allen up with it over to first. And that's a nice scoop again by Schooler over at first. So Theraldson grounds out, short to first. Can Milbank walk off another one just like they did the other night? We'll find out on the other side of this timeout here on KMSD. Back with more right after this.
Oh yeah, it's breakfast time at the Millstone Family Restaurant in Milbank. The Millstone loves breakfast as much as you do, but they've decided it's time to step up their breakfast game even more. Check out their new breakfast lineup, which includes blueberry French toast, their chicken and waffles breakfast sandwich, and their new lineup of eggs Benedict. It's all part of their new Shell Yeah breakfast menu at the Millstone Family Restaurant, East Highway 12 in Milbank.
We're passionate about getting yearly mammograms because 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. You can get a yearly mammogram to detect it early. Would it help if I requested nicely? Please, could you be so kind as to get a mammo? We're singing it. Get your mammogram starting at 40, or with a British accent. Schedule your mammo with an Avera Breast Center at avera.org/breast or call 888-422-1410.
And Milbank is trailing by 1 here, 8-7, bottom of the 7th. Last chance here for Milbank. Can they walk it off just like they did the other night against Groton in Game 2? We'll wait and find out. Kai Schooler, Brady Allen, and then Jackson Weesey will be up for Milbank here in the bottom of the 7th.
Wednesday it'll start at 2 o'clock p.m. and Thursday it'll start at 2 o'clock p.m. as well. Maybe we have the ballpark. Sounds like one might be a touch cooler.
So the throw goes down to second. And Kai Schooler tonight has singled. He has popped out to first and grounded out short to first. So Nedved has gone the whole way tonight so far for Castlewood. Here's the right-hander's pitch. That is a strike at the knees. Again, Castlewood is leading here by the slimmest of margins, 8-7. And Milbank has 3 outs to manufacture 1 run here to tie things. Schooler swings and misses, so Kai in the 0-2 hole now. Nedved jumps ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. And here comes the 0-2. That's going to be on the ground on a 1-hop to third base. And that's not going to be in time over to first base. Schooler gets on his horse, goes into second. So Kai Schooler, I think we're going to have to give him a single on that one because it kind of got crossed up between the shortstop and the third baseman. And then an errant throw to first base allowed Kai to go to second. So Jackson Weesey now at the plate. Or Brady Allen. And there's going to be a courtesy runner now, Jared Swenson, in at second base for Kai Schooler. So Swenson is at second now, representing the tying run here for Milbank. Brady Allen in the batter's box. Brady is looking for his first hit tonight. He has flied out to right, he has walked, and he has struck out. So it's 8-7, Castlewood for now. We'll see if Milbank can have a rally here. Allen bunts it down to first, and nobody covers first. Brady Allen is on first with a single, and then they throw it. Then they throw it away, does Castlewood. So pinch runner Swenson is at third. Brady Allen goes into second, and now there is probably going to be maybe a pitching change. We'll see, but maybe they're just going to talk strategy. So now Milbank actually will have the winning run on second base as they are down 8-7 here, and Castlewood, for some reason, this half inning throwing the ball all over the field here as they have committed at least 2 errors here on the throws. And that's allowed Milbank runners to not only reach base, but get to second and third in the process. And again, your winning run at second base after this meeting on the mound will be Brady Allen. And in the batter's box will be Jackson Weesey. So they're just talking strategy. And again, don't forget Region 1B baseball here starting on Tuesday. Big Stone City and Groton at noon. Milbank and Claremont at about 2:30. And Siston takes on the winner of Big Stone and Groton at about 5. And then about 7:30 that night next Tuesday, the 2 losers of the games will play Region 1B American Legion baseball next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday here in Milbank. All right, Jackson Weesey has 3 singles tonight and an RBI. Here's the pitch to Jackson. That's a strike. Runners on second and third for Milbank. Winning run at second, tying run at third. Nobody out, and a no ball, 1 strike count to Weesey. Takes it low. Nice block behind the dish that time by Jax Theraldson. So here comes the Castlewood right-hander's pitch. That's on the ground to third, and safe at third. Scampering back to third is the pinch runner Swenson. And in the meantime, reaching on the fielder's choice at first base is Jackson Weesey, and that'll bring up Caleb Lindstrom now. And another visit to the mound. And that pitch limit, I believe, is in effect here for Caden Nedved. So, new pitcher coming in for Castlewood. We'll catch up with all of it on the other side of this timeout. Castlewood 8, Milbank 7. Milbank, a budding rally, bases loaded. We'll be back with the fantastic finish coming up right after these messages here on KMSD.
Health Services reminds you that an annual wellness exam is one of the best ways to stay healthy. Wellness exams can help catch health conditions early, and these visits help your primary care provider deliver care based on your health history and goals. Most insurance plans cover annual wellness visits, but coverage varies, so check with your insurance provider. Take charge of your health and schedule your wellness exam with Ortville Area Health Services. Call 320-839-6157 to schedule.
This year, Pioneer celebrates a century of innovation. From the first corn hybrid to the latest innovation like more seed and less corn, or Pioneer brand Z-Series soybeans. They're proud to be the one you count on when every bushel counts. The 100th season of Pioneer. Contact Paul or Riley at Dakota Country Egg Service in Milbank today at 605-467-0715 or 605-949-4170 to learn more.
And welcome back to Milbank. The wheels are turning here on both sides. Brody Bass is your new pitcher for Castlewood. And Caden Nedved, the starting pitcher, goes to shortstop. Caden Nedved goes 6 complete here tonight. couldn't get an out here in the bottom of the 7th so far. Milbank has the bases loaded. Winning run is standing out at second with Brady Allen. Castlewood is leading here 8-7, but a tenuous lead that is right now as Caleb Lindstrom is in the batter's box here. So we'll see what happens here. Caleb Lindstrom so far tonight has a pair of singles and a couple of runs scored. And the Brody Bass pitch. Here it is. There's a fastball. Boy, Brody must have a good fastball. That was a good one right there. No balls and 1 strike to Caleb Lindstrom. Bases are full of post 9 runners. Here's the 0-1. There's a swing and a miss. 0-2. Brody Bass has kind of a twisting motion, I guess, if you will. And then he kind of turns his body and then fires the fastball in there. So here's the 0-2 now to Lindstrom. That just about hits Caleb that time, low and inside. So the 1-2 now to Lindstrom. Here it is. That's low and outside. 2-2. Pinch runner Swenson at third, Brady Allen at second, Jackson Weesey over at first. Here's the pitch. That's high and outside to fill up the count now. No place to put Caleb Lindstrom. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Oh, the wheels are turning here at the Milbank Legion Field. Here's the payoff pitch. Lindstrom stays alive in the at-bat, fouling it back to the netting. So the payoff pitch once again by Bass. Here it is. There's a swing and a miss. So Bass gets his first strikeout here as he strikes out Lindstrom on the fastball. And that'll bring up Aiden Kelly now. Aiden has flied out to left a couple of times tonight, grounded out to short and singled. Here's the Bass pitch. That's high and in. 1 ball and no strikes. I tell you what, Brody Bass, we don't have a speed gun out here, at Legion Field, obviously, but boy, that young man sure brings the fastballs. There is no doubt about that. 1 ball and no strikes. Now here's the pitch. There's a hit down the third base line, but just foul. Oh my heavens, Aiden Kelly got around on that one, but just shot it down the left field line, foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Castlewood is leading here 8-7, 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the pitch. That is low on the fastball, 2-1. Nice eye that time by Aiden Kelly to let that one go by. 2 balls and a strike. So here's the pitch now to Aiden. That's going to get back to the backstop. Here comes the runner Swenson. He's going to score. And it's tied up at 8 as Jared Swenson comes in from third base on the wild pitch. So we are tied at 8. Brady Allen to third. Jackson Weesey, his run means nothing. He's at second. And Aiden Kelly now with a 3-1 count. Milbank with a chance to walk it off here in the bottom of the 7th inning. They're going to intentionally walk Aiden Kelly now. So that will load back the bases now for Milbank. Load them up again, and that'll bring up Matt Copeland with the chance to walk it off here tonight for Milbank. We're tied at 8 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And Mac Copeland at the dish. Mac has been hit by a pitch. He's reached on an error. He doubled, and he scored 3 runs. There's a hit into right field. And that is going to be not caught, and Milbank walks it off. As coming in to score is Brady Allen. And Milbank walks off another one, 2 in a row. They have made it now in the walk-off fashion as Brady Allen comes in to score on on the hit to right center field by Mac Copeland. So Milbank walks her off. It is your final. Milbank wins here 9-8. We'll be back to wrap this thing up. Coming up after some messages here from our sponsors, and we'll be back with the post-game show coming up right after these.
Thanks for coming.
Show your pride. You want the best for work or play. We're your one-stop image shop. We'll help you show your pride. ProImagePartners.com.
Ready for fiber-fast internet and friendly service? Experience unbeatable speed and local support with ITC, your community-connected cooperative. When you call ITC, you're talking to a real person, a neighbor, not a robot. We take pride in offering same-day or next-day support when you need it, and our support doesn't stop there. With investment initiatives like ITC Impact, we're giving back to the communities that make us great. Faster internet and friendlier service are in reach with ITC. Get started today.
And welcome back. Milbank walks it off here 9-8, and we'll be back. We're going to take one more break here on KMSD, and we'll be back after this for our sponsors.
Imagine a future where tobacco is a thing of the past, remaining only as a relic in a museum display case for tour guides to tell tales of, where the life-threatening damage caused by tobacco is gone, extinct, where the world has seen its last smoke put out. Smokes, vapes, and chew tips belong in a museum of ancient history, not your mouth. Start your quit today. Find out more at thelastsmoke.org. Paid for by the South Dakota Department of Health
and the Milbank Tobacco Coalition.
At 203 Realty in Milbank, a huge part of their formula for success is their agent team. One of those agents is Brandon Perry. Brandon is a Wilmot native, Northern State grad, and has resided in Milbank for over 22 years. Brandon joined the real estate world after 25 years of service in the National Guard. Brandon's attention to detail, patience, commitment to his customers, and willingness to put in the extra hours is what sets him apart.
Hi, this is Brandon Perry with 203 Realty. Contact us today by visiting 203-realty.com. At 203 Realty, your address is more than just a number.
And welcome back into the post game. I just wanted to make sure I got that last scoring play right, because I called it a game-winning single, and that's exactly what it was. Giving credit to Matt Copeland with the walk-off RBI single here, as Milbank wins here tonight 9-8. Milbank 9 runs, 12 hits. Castlewood 8 runs, 8 hits. Milbank scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, and they added 3 in the eighth and 2 in the seventh to walk it off. And Castlewood scored 3 in the second, 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and 2 in the sixth, and came up 1 run short here tonight. But good job to Castlewood post 250 as well. This was a pretty good game here tonight, going into region play coming up starting next week here in Milbank. Let's run down the region again. That start goes Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week, July 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. On July 21st, Big Stone City on Tuesday will play Groton at noon. Milbank then will follow with Claremont at about 2:30 next Tuesday. Sisseton will take on the winner of the Big Stone City Groton game at about 5 o'clock next Tuesday, and then the losers of the 2 games will meet in the final game on Tuesday at about 7:30, and then of course everything will fan out from there. So Yeah, so we want to thank all the sponsors here tonight. First of all, on the radio side, Millstone Family Restaurant, Avera Milbank Medical Center, Milbank Area Hospital, Avera, Milbank Tobacco Coalition, 203 Realty, Bean Pharmacy, Haslam Construction, Mertens Auto Sales, Border Lake Insurance, Ortonville Area Health Services, Dakota Country Ag Service, Chiropractic in Motion, Lewis Family Drug Pro Image Partners, ITC, and Schmitz Landing, our video sponsors as well. Whimsy on Main, Milbank Tobacco Coalition, ITC, Ameriprise Financial, Dennis Mears, OAHS, Mertens Auto Sales, and Pro Image Partners. All right, we'll talk to you next week from the region tournament right here in Milbank. But for now, thanks to all of our sponsors, thanks to all of our listeners, thanks to Doug back at the studios at KMSD. One final time, Milbank walks it off in the bottom of the 7th. They beat Castlewood tonight 9-8. For KMSD Radio Sports, I'm Chad Knowles. Have yourselves a great rest of the evening and a great weekend as well. We'll talk to you next week. For now, from Milbank, good night,